Grand Ascension, everyone. It's me, Baby Girl Slaughter, better known as Carolyn Denise, Miss Nisi, back with a reading. I'm going to be coming to you guys quick and fast this weekend because I have a couple of books that I would like to share with you all. It's probably about 5 a.m. here in Houston, Central Standard Time. I've been up since probably about 3:30, 3:45. Took the dogs out and was looking at a couple of crochet projects. And so I thought, what better way to just get up and just start my day and read with you all. I have an appointment to go to around 8:30. So I've got to do that this morning, come home and then get to cleaning since I no longer have a cleaning lady. I decided to take that responsibility back and do it myself for a short period of time. So needless to say, I do have a lot of things to do around the house today. And so one of the things is I wanted to share some time with you all. So I appreciate everyone joining me. I'm just going to get into reading. And first and foremost, before I get started, I just want to recap something or recall something and just remind you all the reason why I read so much and share a lot of different content is because we're connecting the dots and we are putting together the puzzle pieces, right? I have been very, very thankful and I nurtured, okay, because I requested from the creator of all, the universal consciousness, knowledge and understanding to figure out what was going on around me, right? And so with that great knowledge and responsibility, well, with that knowledge comes responsibility, right? So some people may not find this information enlightening or useful. I get that. And then there are others of us who build upon what we know and extrapolate the information and put it in our Rolodex of memory and mind, right? And we recall this information at later periods. Chief has been doing an excellent job, as is Drop 432, Camiro, Jay over at Woodward TV. The list goes on and on and on and on. Rondo, Millennial, fascinating. Everybody has their own gift and niche. So I don't take anything for granted, and I don't take any one thing. I take all the information, assimilate it, and put it together. So without any further talking, I want to get into picking up where we left off on the Flying Serpents and Dragons and Murder of Reality. When I come back later on this weekend, I am going to be reading over the Celestial Gateway in one podcast or one video. And then the granddaddy of them all is going to be over on Facebook, where I pull up on screen on my laptop and share with you all Jamil Shamsi Dean's book, Don't Call My Dummy No Dummy. Okay, I'm going to do a live stream reading over there of maybe 1 or 2 chapters. He's gracious enough to bless me with the PDF copy. And I just want to share it with a lot of people because still a lot of people have not purchased his book. And for the life of me, I think it should be required reading, especially in the melanated and autochthonous communities. Everyone should know this information, right? So where I left off on Flying Serpents and Dragons, I was on chapter 5, if you can recall, or excuse me, chapter 3, if you can recall. And I was reading over the Western and European dragons, okay? Now, there's multiple layers or multiple lore stories that talk about dragons all over the world. I don't say dinosaurs. I call them dragons because I recognize the fact that that's what they've always been called. Dinosaur is a New Age creation or New Age word. I want to read one in particular story. I'm not going to read them all. I'll just read the subheadings. Where I stopped it was the unfortunate dragon of Rhodes, the medieval dragon of Burkir, friendly alpine dragons, the mini dragons of England, dragons hoarding treasure, the legend of the unlucky Gerald, the dragon paths and lays, St. George, the professional dragon slayer, and King Arthur, son of the great dragon. And that's the one I want to read to you all. Okay. It says, and let me put my readers on. Oh man, I'm telling you. Whew. All right, it says, according to Geoffrey of Monmouth, the first British king after the departure of the Romans, was one of Vortigern, who called himself the High King of Britain. He fought the Saxon invaders, for which he built a fortified castle in northern Britain. As recounted in the legend, no matter how hard his masons worked during the day, the foundation of the castle sank into the ground at night. Brought in to solve the problem, Merlin, the chief druid of the time, explained to the king that it was because of the foundation of the castle resting on a subterranean cavern where two dragons slept during the day and fought each other at night. The cavern caused the foundation to be unsteady and the stones to collapse. Vortigern had his men excavate the site and found the lair of the dragons. As the story goes, one monster was white, which Merlin said symbolized the Saxon invaders, and the other was red, and it was the symbol of the people of Britain. Thus, the red dragon not only became the symbol of Wales, but also became the badge of the Uther Pendragon, the father of King Arthur. Pendragon, meaning the chief or great dragon. Thus, the legends make King Arthur the descendant of dragons, similar to the claims of the emperors of China and the kings of the ancient Sumer. The emphasis, his dragon lineage, King Arthur's helmet was adorned with the head of a dragon. The Welsh classic, Mabinogion, okay, let me see if I can pronounce this. Mabinogion also relates the story of Merlin's dragons. It tells how these two dragons had been a nuisance to the people of the area for 5 centuries before the reign of Vortigern. They often appeared above the pit and fought each other in the sky. All right. This is not lore. People say this is a myth. It's a fairy tale. No, this actually really did happen, you guys. Let your mind sink back to the time of the ancient time frame. Okay. This stuff is true. I don't care how you feel. All right. We have so-called dinosaur bones, which we know are dragons. Okay. So it says they fought each other in the sky and until they fell exhausted to the ground. According to this legend, Vortigern was besieged by Ambrosius, the last of the Roman leaders who destroyed the castle. The brothers of Ambrosia were called Uther Pendragon because when he was born, a fiery dragon appeared in the sky. A dragon also appears prominently in the exploits of one of the knights of the Round Table at King Arthur's court. Lancelot is said to have done battle with the dragon when traveling in a part of France ruled by a king called Pelles. His kingdom was beset by a dragon which ventured out each night to maim and slaughter the people. When Lancelot appeared, the king begged him for his aid. The gallant Lancelot went to the lair of the dragon, and when it burst out upon him, he slew it with the sword. King Pelles was deeply grateful and offered his daughter Elaine as a reward, but Lancelot refused because he felt he had given his heart to Queen Guinevere. But not to be outdone and wishing to have an heir from the hero Lancelot, Pelles used enchantment and magic to give Elaine the outward form of Guinevere. See how deceptive? Posing and resembling the queen, Elaine invited Lancelot to her chambers, who readily accepted. 9 months later was born to Elaine, and he was called Galahad. Galahad became the greatest warrior of the Round Table. Okay? And I'm going to mark that because I really want to come back to that, because we are going to read some more of those dragon lore, dragon stories. All right. I just wanted to put that in your mind to let you guys know that, this is really a thing. So I'm reading from Flying Serpents and Dragons. Okay. Let's get into it. Murder of Reality. We left off on part 12, Thebes and the Offspring of the Dragon. It says, the world's great empress on the Egyptian plain that spreads her conquests o'er 1,000 states and pours her heroes through 100 gates, 200 horsemen, and 200 cars from each wide portal issuing to the wars. And we got quite a bit to read, so I'm going to try not to ad-lib. I'm just going to keep reading. Obscured, the hidden priesthood of Amonu are known as the Western people and are identical to the Emori, the Amorite. Affiliated to the Southern crown, the Amuru are coveted to the rule of Hammurabi and his introduction of Amun theology into Egypt. The Hammurabi's rule, which was 1750 BC, is contemptuous with the second intermediate period in Egypt from 1782 to 1570. Prior to the founding of the New Kingdom in 1570 and 1070. See how they work these dates? Promulgation of Hammurabi's doctrine accumulated with the 18th century dynasty and the rule of the pharaoh Amenhotep. Amenhotep, I think that's what you say it. Amenhotep. Yeah, Amenhotep. The fourth, a lineage deducted from the Hyksos, or Amorite. The Egyptologist known as Amenhotep IV, more commonly under the pseudonym Akhenaten, rising sun, or Amenhotep, hidden snake. The Akhenaten's capital relocated to the Amarna, subsequent to the apparent dissolution of the Theban theocracy. Now, I will say this, and I know many of you are going to probably disagree with me. I don't care how you feel. You just got to do your research. America is a true old world. So when they talk about Egypt and they talk about these different factions, they were here in this, where we are today in the United States, okay? So-called United States of America. They had to destroy everything that was here and rewrite the narrative and push it out and take it and set it up shop all around the world. Okay, not only did our people travel everywhere, but there was royalty everywhere. Hence why you see all these castles all around the world. Okay, I'm just saying. So when you're talking about Egypt, my mind immediately goes to Arizona, Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, up in that area. That's what I'm thinking when we're talking about that. So it says, philologically, the Thebans derived from the Arabic noun Tiban or Taban, a snake, recorded in Egyptian Arabic as Tiban or cobra. The sign is used in hieroglyph to write Upper Egypt, Southern Kingdom, its capital Thebes, aligned to the white crown of Osiris. And Egyptologists mistranslate the cobra, the Tiban, as the goddess Wajid, a clever pun in the Sanskrit noun Raja or king. This depiction I'm going to show you says the cobra is a symbol of the Theban priesthood identified with heaven. Okay, snake reptiles have always been revered as ancient wisdom. Okay, and it looks like this. Doesn't matter if it's got wings or not. I mean, it's still an ancient creature. Relationship between the seraph and the Theban is picked up in the Latin polyvent, the Anagina, or the Angogina, offspring of the dragon, or Theban. Thebes is an esoteric in the Phoenician language of Thoban, or navel, a symbol assumed through the matriarch's copulation with the snake, a fallen angel, presented as a religious place of study or instruction. Thebes informs of the Judaic transmission of the oral tradition, the Talmud, which we should read on here because I know a lot of folks have not read it. I haven't read the whole thing. I've read some, but not all of it. In the Arabic etymon Theban, a snake is closely related to the Talib or Taliba, a student known in the English-speaking world as the Taliban. An initiate, the Taliban, is depicted as the Tal-Abib or fox. I'll highlight that. Hold, please. Let me highlight. Again, the Taliban in the modern-day tongue is the initiate, and it's a symbolic of a cunning or sly animal. Malaim, the canine, is recondite with a red serpent, and Sirius. Thebes trace its historical precedence from the first man, the Cadmus, literally ancient one or Easterner, In Hebrew, the kadim, K-A-D-U-M, ancient, and in parentheses, is a play on the Old Semitic word kadam, or east, identified with the Orion. The kadam, which is ancient, refers to the kadamani, the ancestral, assigned in the Semitic language to Adam, Adamu, Adam, Atam, depicted as the fox, equated with the rouge serpent or red serpent. The kadamus, which is an ancient one, informs the Greek etonym kadim or kadia, the earth, figurative Adam, the Nephite, derived from the Hebrew word Adam, Adinami, Adam, Atam, red. His offspring is indexed in the Hebrew with Adamah, the soil, denoting the red clay or red earth, okay? The nation of Adam is signified as Ard Da'am, the people of the earth. Okay, let me highlight that. Likewise, in Greek, the kadamia, Latin for kadamin, earth, okay, translates as a Theban and is correlated with the scarlet pigment cadmium. Kadamoni, the kadamus, and Adam, etymology refer to the Kadamili people known as the Akkadians in north central Mesopotamia, Iraq, Uruk, and Iraq. Share the same family line as the Amaru stated in the previous chapter. Again, when you look at ancient maps here in the Americas, you see all of those names and countries here first, and then it spreads out all around the world. Okay, I think Camiro's talked about this. He's done excellent videos. Chief Red Wolf has talked about this. You just got to go do your research. It says, likewise, in Greek kadamine, okay, it says the Latin kadamine, earth, translates as a Theban and is correlated with the scarlet pigment cadmium. And then it says that this line of people comes from Akkadians, Akkadi, Iraq, or Iraq, and share the same family line as the Amaru stated in the previous chapter. In Arabic, the noun akad, not or tie, is equal to akid, to confirm, implicit of the contract with Egypt. Interchangeably, the Akkadi are punned with the Akkadaha, brothers of offering, translated to Latin in the Amorites. The Akkadi people are known earlier as the Chaldee, or later the Chaldeans. Relationships between the Kadamai and the Chaldee are preserved within the Thebes and later the Greek centers Athens and Lemnos. Historically, the Akkadians or Arcadia are known as the Kadami or the Semitic Chaldee and are responsible for the seating of Thebes and the worship of Amun. Rendition of the Kadami is grouped in the Latin with the intransitive verb kadiri, to fall, and implies the fallen day star Lucifer, conjunction with the Theban priesthood of the Kaldimi or Kadmalia. Arabs record the bloodline of the Kadamia, a junction with Gabriel, alias Al-Qadir. So Gabriel has these beings have multiple names. Gabriel is alias is Al-Qadir, subsequent to the development of the Western Church. Gabriel alias Al-Qadir, Al-Khidr. Al-Qadir, the green one, which is also, when I think about Osiris and I think about Thoth too, this emblematic of the Nephite affiliated to Thebes and the Akkad. Tongue twisters. The denomination of the Kadamali is represented with the emblem of the cardia, heart, denoting the priesthood. The cardia, or the heart, specifies the Roman dignitary, the cardinals, cardinal, equivalent in the Arabic to kadi, a judge. A kadi is a representative of the Levite priest, a conjumium obtained from the Hebrew word lev, or heart. The cardinals attribute their lineage to the tribe of Levi and Moses. You can't make this stuff up. And we know daggone well I'm not even going to go there. Ancestry of the Kadami is equivalent of the Theban Akkadi, accredited with Cadmos, the ancient one, originating from Adam or Orion. The Kadami, Latin Kadamin, is a play on the Old Semitic namesake. Let me see if I can pronounce this one, y'all. The Kabaru, rendered great gods. Etymologically, the Kabari is a Greek adaptation of the old Egyptian word keb, Q-E-B, or snake. Implicit of the Theban or the Mari line of kings. Ancestral to the dog star. Arabic al-Keb, esoteric of al-Qib, the heart, the dog star of the heart. Historically, Cadamus is the son of the Phoenician king Angor, brother of Europa, the moon goddess. Cadamus is punned with Cadamus, C-A-D-M-U-S, is punned with K-A-M-U-S, hidden. It in its singular form, the Kaman or Amun, indicative of the moon, denoting the west. Further, Europa's name is translated as the West and is idiomatic of the Western contract. Europa, Western contract, the goddess of the moon. Further, European's name is translated as the West and is idiomatic of the Western contract, Matar or Meter, espoused by the divine protagonist Mithra. Resurrection of Mithra arguments the relationship between the Pleiades and the Sirius, conjugal to Orion and the line of kings. So it's all lining out for us now. The Kadameli or Kadamine emphasizes Kadam, K-A-D-M, and then it has I in the parentheses and Aia. The earth is variegated in the Greek from Syrian word kadami, which means service, a derivation of the intransitive verb kadam, to serve. The epithet in Egyptian Arabic records, okay? The Kadamin Syrian kadim, a servant. The Kadam is cult or Adamu or Greek Kadim, is a signifier of the neophyte espoused as the servant of Adam or Orion. According to Greek legend, Cadamus, the ancient one, created his people, the Kadamines, by planting the teeth of a serpent, an allegoric of human sacrifice. Nev, N-I-V, in Hebrew, or fang, connotates Navi or prophet. Arabic Nabi refers to as a sown men. Okay. The Kadami priesthood are paired with the Theban serpent and the Nemephite. Translated from the Greek appellation neophytus, the newly painted, the neophyte determines the Latin masculine noun fetus, or foetus, an offspring, lateral to festus, a feast, written as the adjective fetus indicates breeding, pregnant, fruitful, or productive. Bloodline of the initiate is transferred into the Catholicism through a seminary, a training college for priests and rabbi. I'm going to highlight that whole row. Catholicism through seminary is a training college for priests and rabbis, okay? And then we say up at the beginning, further, Europa's name is translated as the West and is idiomatic of the Western contract for Mithra, resurrection of Mithra, arguments relationship between Pleiades, Sirius, Orion, and the line of kings. Now, do you see how Catholicism plays a fact in this? It plays a role in this astral theology and the breakdown of the ancient bloodlines and the ancient order, the lineage. Catholicism through a seminary, which is a training college for priests and rabbis. Derivation of the seminary conveys the medieval Latin seminarium, or the seed plot, figurative, a breeding ground relative to the neophyte. Etymology, the Sumerian Aramean, or the inseminator, is unified with the Semai, Semele, the daughter of the Cadamus, the mother of Bacchus. Can't make this up. The Chazra, Khzira, I hope I said that right, the Son, indicates the neophyte match with Theban and is reminiscent of the Hebrew word Kazah, the star visitor alien. I'll highlight that. And that's spelled Khayzar. An impression equivalent in Greek to Caesar or Caesar. Followers of Bacchus, I like to say that one more time. Followers of Bacchus historically wore blossom, a dual signifier of the neophyte, contrasted in Arabia with the jinn or the serpents. Followers of Bacchus historically wore blossom, a dual signifier of the neophyte, contrasted in Arabia with the jinn and the serpent. A covert marker, the flower. A covert marker, the flower, is clandestine of human immolation. In Greek, the neophyte is a testimonial of andros, the male, and anthos, the flower, nominal of a sacrificial death assigned to the newborn. The flower reappears in Greek symbolism as Sapphira or Spirea, a rose, conjugate with spirea or coil, implicit of the dragon and the neophyte. In Eastern Europe, the rose signifies a vampire or vampire. The Wells Budge informs us that the Egyptian language in his list of hieroglyphs that the sign for thorn, which is the tooth of a plant, is almost identical with the sign from Sothos or Sirius, and is additionally employed as a diminutive sign for a tooth. The tooth operates as a symbol of the nocturnal angel, equated with the host of Sirius. Anubis, god of death, with the flower logo, symbol of the cannibal. Here it is right here. Check it out. Now look, you might not be able to see it on his side, but on his cuffs, there's a flower. Look. Can y'all see it? Now, I have another little statue right here. Hold on. This is on my desk in the front. Look. Okay. Just showing you, this is Anubis. It's right here. And then I have this one. This is, I believe, this is Thoth. Okay. Let me put those back so you can get an idea. The tooth operates as a symbol of the nocturnal angel equated with the host of Sirius. And I showed you the picture of Anubis. I had a huge Doberman, 150-pound German and American Doberman. He's beautiful. I rehomed him because he was just, I was getting really nervous. I was getting really scared of him because he was going to be 150 pounds. I mean, he was a big boy. His paws were about as big as my knuckles. Yeah, he was big. I wish I would have kept him though now because we still stay in touch with the guy who has him. He has like 15 acres. He's south of here, way south there. He's about an hour and a half away. And he has 15 acres, and he actually bred him with his female Doberman. And so they have some beautiful puppies, and we saw his offspring, beautiful. But I named him Anubis. He had green eyes, and he was a fawn color. It was beautiful. Just a little information. All right. During the Bacchic ceremonies, the flower votive worn around the neck womb is substituted with the firstborn male, and works of the phonetic displacement of P and F, the morpheme evident in the Semitic dialect. In the Hebrew, parki or flower is comparative to la pherik, to cannibalize. Pherik is from the Hebrew word la or lefekt, to command, denoting ritual law pertaining to the offering of the newborn. You cannot make this stuff up. Vampirism, newborn sacrifices, the priesthood, the order, the symbology behind the Catholic lineage. Just telling you. And most people don't even know this information. Deconstruction of the ancient languages demonstrate conclusively that the neophyte practiced human sacrifice, adopting the myths of the Bacchus and the Christ, a bloodline descended from the Angkor, Thebes. I'm going to highlight that in green. Listen to what I just said. Deconstruction of the ancient languages demonstrate conclusively that the neophyte practiced human sacrifice, adopting the myths of Bacchus and Christ, a bloodline descended from the Angkor, Thebes. They say it's a myth. It wasn't no myth. They still do that today, y'all. A mushroom coffee so good with goat milk. Resurrection of the deity signifies the renewal or creation or man. Personifies the sunflower or serpent. We saw on the picture I showed you the flower on the sleeve. According to the Greek and Semitic language or legends, according to the Greek Semitic legend, mankind is not indigenous to the earth, and his seed is likened to the cross-pollination of plants. Mankind is not indigenous to this earth. We are not from this dome. We were seeded or planted here. Says likened to cross-pollination of plants. Progeny of the neophyte proceeds from Cadmia, the red earth, equated with Adam and Mars, impugnated of the sacrificial blood. Adam and Mars, impugnated or equated with the Adam and Mars, impugnative of the sacrificial blood. Religiously, Adam is aligned to the red ram or Amun or Kamun, correlated with Amen or Amen west. Adamu or Kadam is east. And then it's also correlated with Amen or the west. Astrologically, the east and the west personified. Venus regrouped with Orion and Osiris. Resurrection of the dog star is affiliated to the serpent and the Pleiades, intersected at Thebes. Don't we have something like that coming up? Don't we have a celestial alignment coming up this year? Or do we already have it? What goes on in the sky goes on here within the body. It affects it electromagnetically. And these beings, that these elites all use certain things as messages to one another and themselves in the media, which they control. And things that are happening around us right now align up with the planets, which align up with these people's agendas, and it lines up with the esoteric knowledge, which I'm reading to you now. Telling you, everything's all by design. It's carefully plotted out by these people, by these beings. Religiously, Adamun is aligned to the red ram Amun, correlated with the Ament or west. Astrologically, the east and west personified Venus, group with Orion and Sirius. Resurrection of the dog star is affiliated to the serpent and the Pleiades, intersection at Thebes. Hold, please. I want to see if we have online what major astrological events in 2025. I'm telling you, everything's by design. Mars, Venus, Mercury, Pluto, Neptune, Saturn, Chiron, Uranus will all be in a retrograde at some point in 2025. A total lunar eclipse will occur on March the 13th and 14th and September the 7th and 8th, and a partial solar eclipse will occur in the spring. Supermoons, a lot of meteor showers, Ganymede, planetary parade, a rare planetary alignment will occur on February the 28th, 2025, when 7 planets will be visible in the night sky. What did I just say? What did I just read? Let me go back to it. Okay. Religiously, Adam is aligned with the red ram Amun and correlated with Ament west. Astrologically, the east and west personify Venus, Orion, Sirius, And the resurrection of the dog star is affiliated with the serpent and Pleiades intersected at Thebes. A rare planetary alignment would occur on February 28th. Today's February the 1st, supposedly, right? It's still 2024, but most people don't know that. Y'all know that if y'all been following me. We ain't in 2025. It's 2024 right now. But there's supposed to be a rare alignment at the end of this month. With 7 planets. So it says, Ageni's progeny, the Catamus, are otherwise referred to as the Thebans. So they got different names for these same beings. Identical in Latin to the Agamia, the Angagina, the serpent race, a derivative of the Roman noun angus, the snake or serpent or dragon. The Angagina pertains to the adjective Augustumani or imperial. That's what these names mean. The Augustine's lexicology is obtained from the root word august or sacred, venerable, majestic, or magnificent. The terminology disclosing the agree, the Augustine is also the title adopted by the first emperor Octavius. Cited as imperial emperor 63 BC to AD 14. Augustus, aka Gaius Augustus, is contemporaneous to Yeshua and the development of the Roman Church. Y'all heard me now. Y'all heard what I just said. Read it one more time for the people in the back row. Cited as the imperial emperor from 63 BC AD 14, Augustus, aka Gaius Octavius, is contemptuous to Yeshua, Jesus, okay, for the layman, and the development of the Roman Church. The title Augustus is reduced philologically from Agagia, which is Theban, named in honor after the mythical king of Thebes or Agaius. His bloodline is further deduced from the Canaanite king Og-Yesir. The August reign in continent concurrent with Atlantis and Noah. His bloodline is further deduced from the Canaanite king Og-Yesir. And the Agi's reign is concurrent with Atlantis and Noah, registered with Ichthyrus and the Cecrops. The Agi's defend offspring is described as part human and part servant, otherwise angelic. Part human, part serpent, otherwise angelic. The Agagis, which is spelled Ogygges, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Namesake rendered in Latin is grouped with the transitive verb agagrio, to bring or offer, and is paired with agagino, to growl. Immutable of the canine. Growling of the dog religiously is conjunct with the Hellenical rising of the dog star Sirius. Celebrated, the renewal of the constellation is marked ritualistically by the oracle barking or mimicking the canine, servile to the worship of Bacchus. Bacchus. Like DMX. Occult practice and knowledge observed through the orgagia, the ceremony, is transferred from the craft of the orgagia. Oh my God, this is Agagia. I guess that's how you say it. Ogyggia. The designation of the Agagia or Theban divulges the Greek mystery orgia, which is secret rite, translated into English as orgy, implicit of the ogar. The orgar is conjured to the ogle, a watcher or dragon, an orgy with a watcher or dragon. Wow. I see where these dialects, these words come from. Celebration of the orgia denotes sexual practices. Celebration of the orgagia denotes sexual practices, conceptual of the Greek verb orgia, to swell or to be excited. Quite literally, orgia, to bring to an erection. The organea or organea is anatomically of the organ relative to the orgamos or orgasm, the thematic of the augury initiated from Thebes, which is orgygia, O-G-Y-G-I-A, celebrants of the orgy, accord to the sacred or imperial bloodline, conceived with angels, an orgy. The Hemiathea or Hemitheos transpired from the oligarch Orion. Ancestry of the Theban king of Ords discloses the Roman imperial lineage of Augustus. That's one. Traced it ironically with Iraq, or earlier Iraq or Uruk, cult centers contracted to Thebes. All right. This is the lineage. This is the breakdown of the occult knowledge of these cults of Bacchus. And then it says, cited as the imperial emperor, it's contemporaneous to Christ Yeshua and the development of the Roman church. You see how they turn stuff around and use it against us? I'm telling you. It is, according to the sacred or imperial bloodline conceived from angels, from Hemitheos, transmitted from Orion. And then it says, ancestry of the Theban king Alagus discourses the Roman imperial lineage of Augustus and traced archaically with Iraq. I'm going to highlight that whole thing. And its contract to Thebes. In addition, Thebes appears to have been aligned to the capital Mari. In ancient Persian, the appellation of Mari translates of the serpent, indicates a serpent being. Exterior to the Persian title Ma, which means king. Esoteric, the location of Mari is matched with Theban, articulated as Theban, assigned to the cobra ideogram. An application of Urus glyph records the Angugina or Theban appended with the offspring of the snake, the Greek ogre. And the Angogia is an allegorious to the Augustan or imperial, as replicated through Augustus, the first Roman emperor, imaged as a serpent. So Augustus was a serpent king. All right. To conclude, the bloodline of Augustus is reciprocal of the Theban priesthood, congruous to the snake. So his whole bloodline is the reciprocal of the Theban priesthood, or the congruous of the snake. The royal center Thebes extended its influence into the heart of Rome via the Pharmenic, Theban, and the Ptolemy Greek dynasties. Descendants of the Syrian Theban priesthood created the Roman church. I'm going to say it one more time. Ding, 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 ding. Where's my ball? It's in the other room. Daggone it. The royal center, Thebes, extended its influence into the heart of Rome via the Pharaonic, Theban, and the Greek dynasties. Descendants of the Syrian Theban priesthood created the Roman Catholic Church. Coming from the line of the snake, baby. Coming from the line of the dragon. Coming from the line of these beings that came from Sirius, Orion, the dog star. Can't make this shit up. And they brought weed here. Weed's not natural to this earth dome. They brought it here. Just saying. Outside the dome walls, baby. In addition, they seeded the bloodline of Jesus through the Emperor Augustus himself. Oh, man, I need to put that in pink. Hold on. Hold, please. Got a pink marker. I'm going to say it one more time for you people in the back row. In addition, they have seeded the bloodline of Jesus through the Emperor of Augustus himself, allied to the Western nations, Rome augmented the theology of Mithra with Amun to create the new religion, Christianity. For all you people out there who are ignorant, meaning not knowing, I'm explaining it to you. I can hear you now. Oh, it's in the book. It don't make it so. It's not true. Okay. Then your Bible ain't true either. Because anything that can be manipulated and put in text can be changed. But there, you need to use your discernment, and you need to understand, enter over and understand the concepts of having it hidden in plain sight. I'm breaking it down for you. In addition, they seeded the bloodline of Jesus through the Emperor Augustus himself. Allied to the Western nations, Rome augmented the theology of the Mithra and Amun to create the new religion, Christianity, built upon the ashes of Jerusalem. Can't tell you, can't make this stuff up. Hebrew is a language, as in Israel is not a place. It is a people. It is the true Judean people here, the Negroes in America. And there are other factions around the world. I'm just telling you. Don't want to hear it? I'm sorry. I'm breaking it down and keeping it real. It's a new kingdom and temple were rebuilt as Christendom, located on the shores of England. A controversy raised in the next chapter. And did those feet, Yeshua in ancient time, walk upon England's mountains green? And was the Holy Lamb of God on England's pleasant pasture seen? I will not cease from mental fight, nor shall my sword sleep in my hand, till we have built Jerusalem in England's green pleasant land. William Blake, 1757 to 1827, the British poet and mystic, Jerusalem, the hymn. And that was back in the 17th and 1800s. All right. So I broke it down for you. Struggle with these words, but I'm telling you, I read like 6 pages and we're at 46 minutes. So I'm going to wrap it up. Key notes to take away. I'm going to say it one more time after I take a sip of my mushroom coffee. Recap. Emperor Augustus himself seeded the bloodline of Jesus, allied with the West nations. Rome had the theology up in the sky, as above, so below. The Mithra and the Amun to create the new religion, Christianity. And they built it upon the ashes of Jerusalem. Okay? We know that the Watcher or dragon had sexual intercourse or orgies to produce the cult of Bacchus, the tribe of Bacchus, I want to say cult because that's what it is. They believed in offering sacrifices of newborn babies and having sexual orgies, okay, to seed. Man and reptilian mankind is not indigenous to this earth and is seeded, likened to the cross-pollination of planets. All right. Takeaways. I'm reading key takeaways here. Augustus Gaius Octavius, 63 BC to 84 or AD 14, is contemptuous to Jesus and the development of the Roman Church. His bloodline is further deduced from the Canaanite king Og Yesir. Og Yesir, reptilian, Augustus or Gaius Octavius is that same bloodline that founded the Roman or the new religion, Christianity. All right. So we know foundation of the church and Christ Yeshua in text. All right. Followers of Bacchus wore a blossom or flower on their arm, a band to signify who they were. And it was a crossbeat between the jinn, the serpent, okay, which meant the jinn and the serpent, priesthood, the lineage. And we also know, right? And we also know that the bloodline of the initiate is transferred in Catholicism through a seminary or training college for priests and rabbis. You can't make this stuff up. We also know the modern day word Taliba or Taliban means a cunning, sly fox or student. And Adam is signified as Adam, the people of earth, mankind, which was seeded here by the reptilian race. All right. I can't break it down more plainer than that, people. I cannot. This was a good reading. I mean, it's like if I had a hammer, ding, 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 or a bell to hit it. I'm trying to tell you, this stuff is all, I mean, it's all by design. I'm telling you, this is carefully crafted. We also read about King Arthur and the dragons, Arthur Pendragon, and the child that sat at the round table, who was known as the mighty warrior. What was his name again, y'all? What did we read about? Hold on. I got his name on the tip of my tongue, but I just want to make sure I say it. Oh, I took my readers off. I need to go get my eyes examined again because I needed some more glasses. I'm going to try to make an appointment today so I can go next week. So you might be seeing me in some new frames, y'all. What was his name, y'all? Y'all remember his name? Hold, please. Let me get his name. Oh, here it is. So, that little cunning witchcraft they pulled with Guinevere, with your boy, Lancelot, he had a kid named Galahad, Galahad, and he became the greatest warrior of the Round Table. And that was just by magic and that casting of the spell. I'm telling you, we're under a spell, y'all. And most people don't even know that. Most people don't even know. You see my pajamas. Most people don't even know that we're under a spell. Like, they have casted the spell so deep and so wide on this entire Earth dome. They got everything. They got spraying in the skies, the food we intake, the nanites particles in the air from the fog that we breathe in. We are constantly being poisoned, bombarded with metals, toxins. That's why I was showing y'all yesterday on camera this Dionysus clay, which I'm going to take. I'm not going to take it this weekend. I'm going to take it probably in the next weekend or so because I need to I need to go to the grocery store and get my, my juices and my organic vegetables. And I want to show y'all this one thing before I jump off here. Hang on. Hold on. Hold, please. Hold, please. This book. I've had this a long time. I'll hold it up so I can take a screenshot. The celery juice book. I'm telling you, it's got some great recipes. This first one, now I tried this one. A large bunch of organic celery and 1 nut milk bag. Okay. And it's just basically celery, and then you take the remnants and you squeeze it through the nut milk bag. And this is what it looks like. I did this one. The taste is, whoo, you gotta get used to the taste. But I mean, when you're drinking it, I mean, you know, you're drinking it. There's another recipe for a large bunch of organic celery, 1 large organic cucumber, and 1 inch of a piece of organic ginger. And you just put that in a blender. I mean, it's got some, I'm telling you, it's got some great recipes. That's ginger, cucumber, and celery. Another one, celery stalks, 1 head of organic green cabbage, outer leaves removed and cut into small chunks, organic fennel bulb, and you cut that into quarters, and 2 organic green apples, cored and quartered, and 4 teaspoons of baobab powder, B-A-O powder. And that comes from the oldest tree known to man, I think it is. Well, the sequoia is one of the oldest ones, but I think this one's older. If I'm not mistaken, y'all, hold on. And I'm going to jump off here. You know, the baobab plant, baobab powder. So I need to get that. So this is what the tree looks like. But you know, I've seen the tree full grown. I'm going to pull it up. I've seen it. It's in Africa. Yeah, this one. It looks so freaking weird. The trunk is so freaking fat. Look how big that tree is. Look at the trunk on that tree. See it? It's that wide. Like, I've seen pictures of this thing. And they look weird. It looks like this. African baobab tree. 1 plant creates... I'm going to get one of these and plant in my yard. I don't know if it's going to grow here in Texas, but it looks like this. See it? See those images right there? So it's that wide trunk tree. But, you know, you get the powder and you grind it up and you put it in there. And they have this baobab, Terrasol Superfoods, this right here. So I'm going to have to order some of that powder to put in my drink. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing the celery juices, green apples and celery, organic fruits. And then I'm just going to really try to, like I said, I'm going to do the 3-day, the juicing, because I've done 3 days already, right? I've done that, and I usually get a really bad headache after like day 3, and I go back. When I come off the juice, I do the bone broth and like the pho. I love pho, and I eat that with bean sprouts and stuff like that to kind of give me nourishment. Because if you wean yourself off of solid food and you're drinking juices, you can't immediately go back and grab a steak because you get sick. So you got to wean yourself back on as you wean yourself off. I need to learn how to extend my fast beyond 3 days and do 7, right? My juice fast. And I want to at some point get to dry fasting or the Phoenix protocol. So anyway, I appreciate you guys joining me for reading. I hope this has been beneficial. I hope I haven't been too ranty today. I will be back. I've got 2 more videos in the pipeline. So please stay tuned for those, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Remember what I always say, be the change you want to see all around this earth dome, because it's up to you and I to make a positive change. I'll talk to you guys soon.